What's going on, guys? Blunt Guts here. I am doing a Watcher of Realms video for you today, and today we are going to be talking about this big fat bastard right here. This is Olague. He is, he is such a good tank. And the best thing about him, you all get him for free. That's right. Once you do Nightmare Void Rift, I think it's in the first or the second phase. I said Nightmare Void Rift. No. Normal Void Rift. He's a free gift to you. He's the game saying, you haven't pulled a good tank yet? We know you can't advance, so here's Olague. He is one of the best defenders in the game. I keep wanting to call them tanks. That's my WoW kind of peeking through there, but he is just so goddamn good. I love this guy. Everybody loves him. I'm not telling you anything new, but let's take a look at his skills real quick. So basic attack, deals damage to one enemy. Doesn't get a whole lot more basic than that, right? He's not going to be doing any damage, so I wouldn't worry about that at all. This is what makes him so incredible. So every 11 seconds, when fully skilled up, every 11 seconds creates a shield that can absorb damage equal to 85% of max HP. So he is going to get almost an entire HP bar in shield every 11 seconds. It makes him a nightmare to kill for the AI enemies that you face in most of the game. It's also going to make him a nightmare for anybody that you face in Guild vs. Guild. Guild Wars. It's Guild Wars. I don't know why. Everybody says GVG, but that's not actually what it's called, right? So anyway, side rant. Let's take a look at the ultimate, which is kind of irrelevant, unfortunately. So, Unbreakable. Stops attacking and shifts to a defensive stance for 30 seconds. Increases physical damage reduction by 50% and block by 1. So, you're not going to really be using this all that much. It sounds like a really great skill. Here's the problem. It lasts for 30 seconds, and Silver Shield does not take effect when you are using the ultimate. So you've got 30 seconds, so that is basically 3 shields worth of time that he's not going to get the shield. And that is a big problem for him because he is an epic at the end of the day, and his base stats are not amazing. So let's take a look actually at those base stats. 21,355 HP. I was just doing a video on Azor, who is one of the worst champions in the game. He is not a good tank, he's not a good damage dealer, but he has more base HP than Olague does. So Olague's base HP, 21,355. Azor's 23,000 something. His base defense is actually higher than Azor's, I think, which is ridiculous considering Azor is a defense-based damage-dealing defender. He has 3229. Which is decent, but not amazing. Other than that, we don't really care about anything else, honestly. He is the most low-effort hero that you could possibly have. All you need to do is gear him right, and you are going to be good to go. So let's start off with the artifact. There's really only one choice, in my opinion, for Olague. You want to put him in this Bastion ring, and this thing is kind of borderline overpowered. They did just nerf it a little bit. It's a nerf when he's facing a single damage dealer or a single attacker. However, if there are multiple attackers, then it's actually a buff. So if he's blocking 3 or 4 enemies, 4 will be his base block when he has this artifact on. You're talking about a 20% decrease in magic and physical damage. So really incredible. It also increases block by 1, so that's a 33% increase to the total number of units that he can block. As far as gear is concerned, one thing that you really want to be considering here is his skills, right? And this one in particular, like I said, this is the only one that really matters. Basic attack is just, he basically attacks. And the ultimate, like I just told you, you're really not going to use it. I think the only time that you might use it is if you needed to block 5 enemies for 30 seconds. That would be a use for this. He would need solid heals. He's not going to get his shields, but he does kind of self-sustain through his shield here. Actually, I didn't mention one artifact that is really good on Olague in particular, and that is the Norse Will. So Olague, he casts a shield on himself every 11 seconds. This artifact, whenever the hero loses a shield, restores 10% HP. If we look at the upgrade path for it, we can see it goes up to 11%. I have to imagine caps out at 15% when you get it up to rank 25. So basically every time that the shield expires, he's going to heal himself for 15%. So you're kind of enhancing his self-sustain. So if you have a healer with him, you probably don't need to wear this. You're probably better off with Bastion Ring. But if you're going to put him on an island someplace and he's just going to be blocking and you're relying on him to keep himself up, then this Norse Will may be the way to go. You can see I've saved 6 of them, or is that 6? Nope, that's 7. I've saved 7 of them with the intention of eventually creating a rank 25 one that I can kind of swap in and out on Olague depending on the content that I'm doing. But in truth, I don't really need it right now. There's no place in the game that I really need that level of self-sustain on Olague. Every place that I use him, he already self-sustains just fine by himself because he is a certified badass. So, gearing. I mentioned that his base stats are kind of low. That's why, in my opinion, you need to have him in a Guardian set. That's going to add an extra 15% damage reduction to all types of damage. So we're talking magic damage, physical damage, doesn't matter what it is going to get reduced by this set. What you're going to want is HP bonus on every single piece on the right. And aside from the fact that HP scales much better than defense in this game, the other reason is, once again, this self-generating shield that he does is all based on his max HP. So the more HP that you can stack on this guy, the bigger the shields, the harder he is to kill, the more annoying he is for anybody trying to take him down. That is the way to go. As far as left side pieces, I would also recommend really just 2 things. Anything with HP on it. So if you don't have options, you could potentially go with Life Force, which is what I have on him right now. I don't know why I have this on him. I should have him in Immortal Warrior. Maybe I swapped it off for another piece of content that I was doing. I'm not sure. Olague really only comes out for Nightmare Void Rift at this point for me, so I did that on Monday, and I'm done with it at this point. So what you could do is, again, you could do Life Force, which is going to give you 25% HP. You could also do... Where are you? There we go. You could also do this Mortal Warrior set, which is going to give you 25% HP and 10% defense. And it also, just to boot, has higher base stats. You can see compared right here. This has a base HP of 3960. The HP on this is base 3600. It's not a lot. I guess it's that's 10% extra. So you're getting 10% more base stats from this gear by using the gold set versus the silver set. So that would be my recommendation. Immortal Warrior if you have it, Life Force if you don't. But your main goal here is going to be to stack HP like a madman and put as much as you can on him. That is going to increase his effectiveness proportionally. So I don't think there's a whole lot else to say. If you have him, you should be using him, build him up. His awakenings are not great. And I mean, they're fine, but increases the strength of the shield. That A1 is pretty decent. Plus 100 defense. We just talked about how defense isn't all that great of a stat. Plus 1200 HP. Now, one thing to note, these additional stats are base stats. So you're going to get more than just 1200 HP. You're going to get 1200 HP multiplied by whatever HP modifier you have on him. So if you are looking at using Guardian set on him and you've got HP bonus main stats in all of your right side pieces, that's going to be 1200 times 100 or plus 180% of that. So that's going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of, in total, around 3,000, 3,200 defense or something like, or HP, excuse me. So that is something to keep in mind. Same thing with defense. If you do have defense percent, I wouldn't recommend it on the main stat gear, but it's certainly helpful as substats. So that's going to help out there as well. This is a nice one. A4 is all damage reductions plus 5%. That's a flat 5% damage reduction. That is definitely going to come in handy. And then finally, when the ultimate is triggered, which we don't do with this champion, grants physical damage reduction of the same duration to adjacent allies. Maybe there's some creative stuff that you could do with that. Maybe in, like, say, Gear Raid 2, when you are trying to stack damage reduction for your healers and your squishies in the middle. That might be something that you could do, but honestly, I pulled a copy of him. He is incredibly rare to pull, but I did pull one copy of him, and I used him to upgrade there. I think he'll be a candidate for me for Epic Soulstones, but he's probably going to be down the list on that because I just don't think that the Awakenings really add all that much more to his kit. So that is my perspective. Hopefully, this breakdown gave you some thoughts when you are trying to put together a gear set for him. If you do have any comments on what I've said here, you think I'm an idiot, or you want to tell me how you would do it, and why what I'm doing is wrong, please do so. I'd be more than happy to engage in some constructive discourse with you. I appreciate you guys watching. If you do enjoy the content, please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it, and I'm going to be putting out more content in the future. So, other than that, hope you all have a good night.